what's up? Today I'm going to talk about filters, another thing that we all use in the way we function or in our conversations. And here's what happened. I truly believe we all are like time machines, right? We sometimes are, some of us, or we sometimes are either in the past, sometimes we are in the future, and sometimes we are in the present. Take the example of this morning itself. Like, there's this very beautiful lake that is there close to my house, and that's where I go for my morning walk. And I realized that I was just not paying attention to the beautiful things around me, the whole natural beauty that was there right next to me. Instead, I was constantly thinking about a client conversation that I had yesterday, or I was actually getting caught into, okay, do I need to pick up something on the way back home today, now after I finish the walk? So you get the drift. Does it happen to you when you're having conversations and you see that people are either choosing to be either in the past or in the future or in the present? Well, nobody is right or wrong, and nothing is good or bad. But it's about is it useful? Is it working for us? For example, women are often accused when they are talking to guys or their partners that, oh, you guys never forget what we might have done or said so many years back or so many months back. So is that a useful way to function? That if in a fight or if in an argument or if in a conversation, you're bringing up something that's happened way back. Similarly, when let's say we are trying to work on somebody, is it worth showing them the future? Is it worth letting them know how will it play out in the future? So that's why there are 3 filters that we do tend to operate from: past, present, and future. So we are all like time machines, right? Like we keep toggling between the various time zones. So this is what Sue explains in her book NLP at Work, with a very nice concept in the chapter Filters on the World, called Past, Present, and Future. So she takes some examples, and I would like to share that because I'm sure some of it will resonate completely with the way you function. And then we'll see how to use that in our life, right? So for example, people who are always future focused, you'll see them asking questions like, what's for dinner? Or what I want to achieve through this project is, or where are we going on a holiday? Or which movie are we going to? Or how long till we get home? So basically, they're always at a time point which is not the present, rather the future. Similarly, people who are like in the past, what did you say earlier? Or when they say something like, did you see what the other person was wearing? Or do you remember where we were on the last holiday? And you know how important the last meeting was? So this is how people who are in the past tend to communicate. And last but not the least, people who are in the present will probably have a language which is similar, like what's happening now, or what is that like for you, what you mean is, or what I'm experiencing is, or what else is true right now, or the way I understand what you're saying is. So as I was saying, and in fact I keep saying this in many of my videos, it's not about anything being right or wrong, rather it's about what's useful or not useful. So if I'm talking to a customer, and let's say the customer actually tells me a lot about what is the impact that he wants, then I know that he has a filter of future. So maybe it will be worthwhile for me to adopt the same tack and share information with him or have a conversation with him, and the chances are that I'll get the deal. Similarly, in certain cases where it's absolutely great to just be in the present and soak in the experience that we are going through, maybe that's the right way to be. But whatever it is, the fact is all of us do tend to exhibit one of these filters. So now that you know this, do you think you would be interested in observing how people are really, what is the filter that people are really demonstrating? And you could maybe make a different choice or continue with the same choice that you've done so far. So has another story that she shares in her book, where she says, because she's someone who always likes to be in the present, she kind of did not like to go visit her school reunions, but then it so happened that because that took a reference to the past, but then ultimately she does end up going to one, and then she says that it was a fantastic experience. Which also goes on to say that when you make choices which seem to be useful, then you could have a different experience the next time around. So right now we've covered a filter called past, present, future, and then I'll come to the last two filters that we have, which will close the chapter on filters for us, and we'll carry forward our journey on NLP. So the next filter is self and other. Whoa, this is a cute one. This is an interesting one. Does it happen to you that sometimes, let's say you're having a conversation and the other person will be like, yeah, but, like I'm saying, hey, did you watch that movie? I don't know, I didn't watch that movie. I watched this movie. So basically, it's like a lot of volley that happens where the other person may not be that curious about what you have to share. Rather, the person is more interested in just concentrating on self, and that's how they end up communicating. So I'll take I'll look at the book and refer what's the conversation that Sue shares as an example. So here it goes. One person says, we are thinking of moving home. And the other person says, I decided to do that last year, but I've changed my mind in light of the current economy. And then the other person says, well, we have the offer to work in Spain. And this person says, I got an offer to work in Denmark, a branch of our business. I'm still thinking about it. And then the other person says, it's an opportunity for us to introduce a new training program into our new offices there. And this person says, we have developed a wonderful new training program for our staff. What a loser, right? Kind of crazy. I sincerely hope I have never been like that. Do you want to retrospect, or do you want to introspect on whether you end up doing that to anybody? She gives an alternate as to how can the conversation be more beautifully playing out. Well, let's say one person says, we've been thinking of moving home. And the other person could respond, oh really? How come, or what has prompted that? And then the person could say, we've been traveling a lot and we feel we would prefer a more stable, permanent base now. And this person could respond, have you thought where that might be? So you see, people who are probably more concentrated on self will probably end up expressing a lot about themselves without keeping in mind the other person's experience. Whereas someone who's probably concerned about the other person's viewpoint will encourage a better quality of dialogue. So that's the last but one filter for today. And then the last filter for the day, which kind of closes the filter chapter for us, is the convincer pattern. We all get convinced by different ways. Some people may get convinced by what you say, or some people might want to go through an experience with you, or some people might visually want you to represent or show something. So convincer pattern is about where I check out what would be a good way to convince another person, because we all do go about life convincing a lot of people. So yes, people, we've covered a whole lot of filters so far in my journey through Neuro Linguistic Programming. So you stay tuned. Next week is going to be exciting with yet another topic on NLP, and I'm going to talk to you some more about how to apply it in the real world scenario. On that note, thank you so much for watching Slate with Anita. Take care. I'll see you around. Bye.